Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. Have some chai with me. And let's make today something that's very popular on my menu. Something that's a secret because you don't see it on my website, but you can get it any time of year. I'm going to show you how I make my chili pickle or mirchi ka achar. And this is the base not only to be eaten with rotis and parathas and puris as an accompaniment, but it's also a great flavor enhancer when you're making dishes like achari paneer, achari gobi, jama masjid degi biryani. Whenever we make stuff like that, this is the pickle that goes in, right? So cheers to pickle making. I've never learned how to make pickles from my mom, even though she makes some pretty sensational ones. So this is a lot of experimentation, talking to some experts, including my mom. But I only understood that I had a passion for pickle making once I had moved out of my mom's house. And so I can't see her in action. And in India, pickles are made in a certain season. And unfortunately, that's not the time when I'm in India. So I have to literally do everything over the phone with my mom. So I've picked these pickles this time. Good morning, Kina. How are you? Oh, you're drinking your coffee. Well, cheers to that. Cheers to all the chai and coffee lovers. Actually, Kina, you know what? I am coming up with a cardamom coffee premix blend. So if you'd like to try a sample of that, send me a DM, or when you're visiting New York, remind me. I'll bring you a sample. You're absolutely going to love cardamom coffee. It's the rage right now, and it's instant coffee. So you don't really have to stick it through a percolator. You don't have to stick it through any filters. It's just mix and go, and you can add your own milk and sugar and whatnot. All right. Hey, Tim. Good morning. Good morning. Lewis is watching. Tim is watching. Melanie is here. All my lovely folks are here. So today we are going to make this chili pickle. All right. I can't wait to see you, Kenna. That would be awesome. So let me quickly show you what I've made in the past and what it does look like. I only have the last bits of what's left. So even though it starts out as being pretty green, when you make it, all of this stuff that you see, which is the oil and you see these little powdery things, these grainy things, these are actually the seeds and the masalas, right? So I'm going to show you how we do it. But first, I just want to do a little 101 on how to select the best chilies for your pickle. You can do the same thing with jalapenos. You can do the same thing with Italian peppers. You can do the same thing with red peppers and bell peppers. The only thing that I saw with red bell peppers was that the skin was a little tough and it doesn't break down. So when you bite into the pickle, you literally like scrape off the skin and just eat the flesh of the chili. So when you pick a chili, just make sure that this stick on top, this part of the stem that is attached to the branch of the tree, this should actually be green. The more green this is, the fresher your chili is. And I actually cut everything and kind of got a little head start, but I saved one just to show you. And I'm going to snap this right now so you can see. Hello, good morning, Shobna ji. I'm going to snap this and show you how fresh and crunchy it is. And I bought this. It's been a week. Okay, so I did not buy it from the farmer's market. I just bought it from my local produce stand. And see how green this is? So the more green your stem is, the fresher your chilies are. So go for this. This is the way you can tell the ones. And also the skin is kind of shiny and it's very tight. It's not shriveled. It's not shrunken. So that's how you know this is a fresh chili. I'm going to snap this so you can hear the loud crunch of it. Right? And you see like immediately so much juice flies out because it has a lot of moisture. It's just been freshly picked. So as long as the stems are not brown or dry, you know that your chilies are fresh, okay? Now, I don't like to use a knife, but I like to cut it at an angle. And I like to cut it at a 45-degree angle like this. So I use my kitchen shears. If you want to use a knife, go right ahead. I'm wearing gloves only because I have to mix all the masalas. I'm pretty immune to the seeds of peppers by now, but there are people who have sensitivity. So definitely practice protection from that. And I am wearing my glasses as well so that the seeds don't fly off and get in my eye, right? So this is how it looks after you cut it at a 45-degree angle. See that? And then I actually take a towel and then I press it. Sometimes, like when my mom makes pickles, she basically spreads out 2 towels and then lays out all of the cut vegetables or chilies to just air out to draw the moisture. And so that any kind of wetness in any pickle is not a good thing, right? So in a lot of Indian homes, especially back home, you'll see when it's a nice bright sunny day and it's pickling season, you'll see a lot of terrace tops or like balconies, parapets having a wet towel, a towel that on which, you know, things have been set out to dry like this. The last time I did something like this, I completely forgot about it, and then they became shriveled and shrunken, and I ended up making crushed chili flakes. Yeah, because it was also 16 pounds of it. That was a lot of chilies. Okay, so I'm just going to pat these dry. I've washed them and wiped them, but then once you cut them, you know, the juice from the peppers gets released. So it's always a good practice to just pat them dry. If you can air dry them for maybe about 15 to 20 minutes or put them under a fan, that can help the process speed up a little bit. I'm not going to hold up this video for that purpose. I will still proceed. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the bottom of my bowl because this is what I'm going to be using, and you can see there is a lot of moisture. I don't know how much you are into preserved foods and pickles, but if you'd like to see more in these series, drop a comment below. So a good homemade lunch with a combination of dal and rice and yogurt, homemade yogurt, and a homemade pickle is actually a really good prebiotic and probiotic combination. So it's very gut healthy. Also, yesterday, was it yesterday or day before? I think day before yesterday, I made this Korean radish kimchi, which is called kakdugi. And I don't know if you've ever eaten this. This is the kind of thing that you get in the banchan. If you go to a Korean restaurant, they give you these little dishes in which they put all these things. And you can see these are radish cubes. Like super crunchy and absolutely delicious. So if anybody wants to learn how to make this, I'm happy to show you that. So basically it was submerged and all of this liquid has actually come out in the last couple of days. It was only filled up to here and you had to submerge it all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our mirchika achar, which is the green chili pickle making. Let's jump right to it. Another important thing to remember when you're making any kind of pickle, either use sea salt or then use Himalayan pink salt. I'm going to use Himalayan pink salt, but if you have sea salt, feel free to do that. When you have, all right, Melanie, I'll do another batch of this radish kimchi, and I will probably do it live. I'll let you know when it's going to happen so that you don't miss it. Okay. So this is Himalayan pink salt. What happens when you use sea salt or pink salt is that because these are natural salts, they don't blacken your pickle, and they don't create that brackish kind of chemical taste in your pickle, and also helps to preserve it longer. So stay away from iodized table salt when you make any kind of pickling or brining. Like Thanksgiving is coming up, and if you're going to brine your stuff before roasting it, then use sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. That's always a better alternative. One sip of chai and back in business. Let me just familiarize you with some very simple components that are going to go into making of this pickle. We are going to use turmeric powder. We are going to use red chili powder. We will use Himalayan pink salt. None of the other spices are required. There is cumin seeds here, but I'm going to show you the spice blend that I use, which I create for my spices. And you can always order this. It's not on my website. You would only have to private message me in order to get this pickling blend. And I can show you up close. This is a combination of cumin, fennel, black mustard seeds, yellow mustard seeds, and nigella seeds. So those are the things that give it that characteristic flavor. And what I do is I dry roast them and then I pound them coarsely so that they'll be well blended with the oil. The other thing that's very typical to Indian pickle making is actually mustard oil. And it has a very wasabi kind of a kick to it. It's an acquired taste for sure, but it doesn't have I can't say it doesn't have the heat. It does have a little bit of a sting. And the way to take out that sting is that you really, really heat it up to a smoking point and then allow it to cool before you add it to any of your pickles. There is also another category of pickle making that happens with water and mustard seeds, and I'll be happy to show you that if anybody wants to learn that. Okay, so first things first, we are going to add, and I eyeball everything. And I also make this in very small batches. So when it's sold out, it's sold out. Then when I get the fresh peppers like this, then again, I make another batch and I put it out there. But I swear, I cannot keep up with the demand. So this red chili powder is not a hot chili powder. It's a very mild chili powder, and it's more for color than for taste. In goes all of the pounded seed masala. You're going to give it a mix. And then I'm going to take all of these peppers and drop them right in here. I won't be able to tell you in how many pounds, how many it was. I just picked the ones that had the most green stems. So we're going to give it a gentle mix. Make sure you're not crushing it. You're just basically trying to coat all of these peppers. Now, there is a new trend in India to make pickles with olive oil and other neutral oils, but I think the biggest flavor that comes is from mustard oil. And also mustard oil, because of the kick, it actually opens up your sinuses. So it's really important to use mustard oil. Of course, you're not eating the oil of the pickle, you're just only eating the pickle. The part of the country where my mom comes from, when we were babies, so my mom's Bengali, right? So she was born and brought up in Calcutta. When we were babies, she would give us a hot oil massage every single day before our bath with hot mustard oil, and then she would put us out in the sun to get our vitamin D. And we would never get colds or coughs or whatever. She would massage our chest and back with that hot mustard oil. It does have a very distinct aroma to it, but as a baby, I don't think you know better and you don't care. But yeah, it certainly helps to boost our immunity. And even to this day, if someone's suffering from blocked sinuses, they suggest to snuff up hot mustard oil, like warm mustard oil, and snuff it through their nostrils to open up their sinuses. Okay, so you don't need a whole lot of pickle when you're eating your food. You just need a little bit on the side. And all of these actually shrink down and become much smaller than what you see here, okay? Hey, Bindu, how are you? I'm making mirchika achar. So I thought I should do it on the live. Okay, now once it's well combined, you can actually taste it and see if it's salty, if it's, does it need anything? Like I said, you don't need to put any coriander seed powder. You only need salt, turmeric, and red pepper flakes. And how you would taste the salt is you would go down here and then kind of pick a little bit and touch it to the tip of your tongue. You should feel the saltiness and the heat of it at the same time. Okay, so that's that. Once it's well combined, the next step is to get a jar. This is the jar in which I'd actually ground my masala and stored it. But if you're going to use a new jar, then boil it with, put some hot boiling water in it, shake it out, and then wash it thoroughly, dry it, and then wipe it down with some vinegar. Okay, so the next step is to actually fill this jar. It could be a ceramic jar, it could be a glass jar, whatever you have, right? Just fill it in. This is like the simplest pickle you can make, but I kid you not, when you're making a simple vegetarian stir-fried dish like gobi, like cauliflower, or you're making a paneer and you put this into the oil first before you add your onions and tomatoes, and then you add your vegetables, it just really has an amazing kick to it. Okay, so we're going to try to pack it down as much as you can, right? It's not going to expand, it only shrinks. And when it sits there with all of the salt that's already been put on it, it's going to release moisture. So I have some extra, which means I might have a little tiny jar. I'll take out some so I can actually move things around. Okay, so this is my jar. That's extra. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, this is my mustard oil that I've heated to a smoking point, and then I'm going to fill it into this jar. So ideally, all of your vegetables or your peppers must be submerged in the mustard oil. That's how much oil Indian pickles actually call for. I try not to go overboard with it, because once the pickle is finished, then you really do not know what to do with it, right? So I'm going to press it down. And then one last thing that I'm going to add, which is going to help to enhance or prolong the shelf life of this pickle, is just good old vinegar. And you're just going to do maybe 1 or 2 caps full. It balances out the heat from the peppers, and it breaks down the spiciness of the seeds, and also prolongs the shelf life. Okay, I'm also going to take a paper napkin and dip that in the vinegar, and then I'm going to use this napkin to clean the rim of this jar. So what that does is it's going to help the fungus from forming, or as the pickle ferments and kind of comes to its own, it's going to prevent from that fuzzy thing that forms up sometimes on the mouth of the jars. And I'm going to do the same thing with the lid as well. Okay, so you're going to do that, and let me get the lid. And then do the same thing to the lid. Now, because I didn't put oil up to here, so ideally the oil should have been up to here where everything would have been submerged. What you can do is you can take a wider jar so that you don't have to put as much oil, because for this to be fully covered, the oil would have to climb up right up to here. Okay, but if you take a wider, like a casserole or something which has a snap-on lid, a glass, do not put your pickles in metal jars or in plastic containers. Always make your pickles in glass or ceramic jars. Give it a good shake so all of the oil can actually touch the peppers. Like I said, I did not put enough because I don't want my peppers to be swimming in the oil. And then I'm going to put it on my windowsill, which actually gets it gets about 3 to 4 hours of good afternoon sunlight every single day. You can see how things are already starting to move up and down, right? So all the spices and everything will actually just marry well. And the sun is going to help to bring these together. So when you order these actually ship in a Mylar bag, which is airtight and it's sealed, double sealed. So you can open the pickle when you get it in your shipment, and you can immediately transfer it to a glass jar or bottle or a glass container with a lid, and that should stay. So if you leave it on the countertop, this stays for about 3 months. If you leave it in the fridge, it would stay for about 6 to 8 months. Like this pickle is about 4 months old, and it's so aromatic and so flavorful, and it's not spicy because all of the vinegar and the spices actually break down the heat from the chilies. And this right here, this is gold, you know, the entire mix of the spices with the oil, that, my dears, is absolute gold. So a lot of times in families where there's like an ongoing pickle making tradition, what they will do is they will actually remove the old pickle, add the new pickle, and then add back this old pickle. So they'll kind of get this to infuse some already existing flavor and give it a little bit of a head start. I haven't done that in this case, but I know my mom does it. I just don't like that this fresh thing should start out with this blackened thing. That's not my favorite, but I think it's oh well, all right, Kina, I'll save you some. You know, when you come to New York, looks like there are some samples galore that are waiting for you. So just remind me when you come in on Friday. You have my phone number. Just text me and remind me that when I come to see you, I'll make sure that I bring you a sample of the peppers, and I will bring you a sample of the cardamom coffee. Okay, so this is how we do it. If you like it more oily, by all means, fill up the oil up to here so that all the peppers are submerged. And for extra stuff like this, you can either use it in your stir fries right away, or you can just take a smaller container and dunk them under oil. If you want to make just with vinegar, you can actually create a vinegar bath, 1 part vinegar to 1 part water, and just submerge the same things in the vinegar brine. And you can add maybe some ginger juliennes, you can add some garlic cloves, you can do whatever. So this is the extra that I have. And as this settles down, by tomorrow this will have settled a little more, so perhaps I can add this back. But you have to just keep an eye on it and, you know, give it a good shake every now and then. So when you come into the kitchen to have your afternoon lunch, give it a good shake. Then maybe give it a good shake when you're trying to, you know, before you go to bed. Just shake it up a little bit so it'll get some action. Also, if you're going to dry them out in your front yard or backyard, just bring them in at night, because the dew that falls in the early hours of the dawn is not conducive to pickle making. And the more airtight it is, I'm going to change this lid to be an airtight lid so that it can really do its thing and no moisture can permeate. Some people also seal their jars and then boil the jar till the lid pops, and then automatically it gets sealed. So there are so many things that you can do with pickle making. If you have any experience with preserved vegetables or pickle making, or if you have a harvest, or if you're trying to capture the essence of the season before the season is out, or, you know, the growing season is gone or the harvest season is coming in and you're thinking of how to preserve some foods, do share that with me. I am heavily interested in it. I haven't done much in this area, but I would love to learn more. So share your experiences with me. This is the pickle. If you'd like to order it, you can, I'm not sure if it's on the website yet or not, but you can definitely send me a private message. And like I promised, I will be doing the radish kimchi as Melanie requested. I will be creating another live video with the radish kimchi, perhaps maybe on Thursday, or Wednesday or Thursday I'll do it. But Melanie, I'll definitely send you a message letting you know that this is what I'm doing, and we're gonna make it together, okay? The only exclusive ingredient that we need for that is fish sauce, which I don't use. I use soy sauce instead. We need sugar and salt and soy sauce, and we also need Korean red chili flakes. So other than that, there is nothing unusual in that pickle. If you'd like to make it with me, then make sure you have a big block of radish that is ready, and we will be making that banchan together. It's called kakdugi. So I live in Queens, and of course there are so many different nationalities that live here. You cannot escape being influenced by all the different ethnic foods that we get in this borough of Queens. It's the most diverse borough in the world. About 400 different nationalities live here, and I absolutely love the culture here, which is why my brand is also called Queen's Curry Kitchen. So definitely, you know, go into your grandmother's recipe card books and see if she has any pickling recipes or any food preservation recipes. This is really the time to try all those homesteading things. I think that's what fall is about. Okay, so I'm gonna head on out because I have other stuff to do. But Kina, special message for you. I am looking forward to seeing you on Friday. I hope you guys are going to have a great time in New York. If anybody else is headed to New York City, let me know. I would love to come and meet you in person. Other than that, keep it hot, keep it spicy, keep it pickled, and don't be stuck in any juice, in any pickle juice in your life. That's my prayer for you. Be blissful and flavorful. I will see you guys soon in another video. Until then, goodbye and God bless. Tomorrow I will be live in the kitchen when I'm going to be cooking my weekly meals. So I will get to see you from there. Until then, until next time. Bye-bye. Take good care.